So this video is going to be a quick comparison of the Dyson V7 versus the Dyson V10 cordless vacuum. This is the V7 here. This is an older model. It's about a year old at this point. It's a more affordable model. It sells for under $300 and it's a lot smaller. The V10 is the new for 2018 model. It starts at about $400 and it goes up to about $700 if you get the full kit called the Absolute. And clearly it's a lot larger than the V7. It has some interesting differences and we're gonna run through those now. Obviously ran through the pricing. The V7 sells in some more expensive models, but now you can get it under $300. The V10, this is a Animal, which is the middle level, goes for about $450. There's a motor head below it, which sells for around $400 and change. And then above it, going up to between $600 and $700 is the Absolute, and that includes the most attachments. But the core features of the vacuum are the same. So now we have a new design. You can see V7 has a perpendicular mount to the bin. That means the bin opens downwards. And that is how you would get the debris out of there. The V10 has moved to what they call their inline design. So basically, all these components, the motor, the vortex, the channels, the filter, it's all in line, which is more efficient, should be a little bit quieter, and then it makes emptying the vacuum a more simple process. So all you have to do is remove the attachment, put it over the bin, and push this down. And everything's happening in line. Here, you're holding it horizontally, while this drops it vertically. It's not like a huge deal, but something to keep in mind. The bin is also larger now. This bin, you can see it always only goes to this max size. So basically all you have is this, which is not a lot of volume, especially considering it's a donut shape with that piece in the middle. The new bin, a lot larger. It doesn't go all the way up to here. This is not usable space, but you have from here to here. You can see that max. Again, there is a large cylinder in the middle, a lot larger than it used to be, but still you have 40% more bin capacity. So that's something to keep in mind if your vacuum is filling up. It's not really a huge deal, generally speaking. Also speaking to the longevity is the new battery. You can see the battery here and see the old battery component. It's this right here. Definitely not as big. The new model has a larger battery capacity, which means at the lowest mode, it could run for up to 60 minutes. At the highest mode, it could still only run about 5 minutes, maybe 6, which is one of the major flaws with almost all Dyson's cordless vacuums. But again, up to 60 minutes at the lowest setting. That's one of the real big selling points here. Another change is that Dyson's classically have had 2 modes, basically like normal and max. Now there's 3. It's kind of like a low, normal, max. And the max is still that really serious max, that turbo mode. And the low is even lower than ever before. Basically the low on the V10 is like under 21 air watts. I think it was 18 or 17 air watts. And the max is like something like 150. Where on this guy, the V7, it was 21 air watts on low and then just 100 on high. So a lot more power in this vacuum, but only at the highest mode. The other 2 modes don't utilize that power. One thing I'd want to point out as well is the weight. This is a heavy vacuum. This thing is 5.9 pounds unloaded. The V8 was 5.75 pounds, and that wasn't light. And the V7 is even lighter than that. I think it's around 5 pounds and an ounce or 2. So you're adding substantially, like 20% to the weight. This vacuum, it doesn't matter when using it normally, but holding it upright or holding it out, you could feel a lot more weight to this. And that's exacerbated by this long bin, which not only can hold more, which adds to the weight, but it also is creating kind of more leverage and really letting you feel that weight as you extend your arm. Moving along, this model comes stock, the V10 comes stock with this HEPA filter. So that is a HEPA certified filter, and all the models have this. In the V7, only the animal got the HEPA filter, and they used primarily this filter, which Dyson has used on their vacuums in the past. And then most models did not have the HEPA, but some of them at the end of the line, after this thing was out for a few months, they introduced the HEPA. And you would know if you have it because this back thing right here is a little bit longer and it's purple. This motor head does not have the HEPA filter. So keep that in mind if you're allergic to dust or if you have someone in your home that's sensitive to particulate. Again, that's a great reason to get the HEPA filter. The V8 had the HEPA filter across the board, so keep that in mind. There's a new trigger design. It's much lighter to press, and you can see it is, it's much lighter to press. It's hard to see any differences. And that's because Dyson's use a design where the trigger does not lock. To have this vacuum active, you always have to have the trigger pressed. That's one of the major drawbacks with the Dyson, and I know a lot of people are annoyed by it, so they've made the pull pressure lighter. Also, you can see the new battery indicator. Not only is there a battery indicator now, so you can know when your device is fully charged, but you can know if you have 1/3, 2/3, or full life to it. It's not a great system, but it gets the job done. The V7 does not have any battery indicators at all. There's a charging indicator, which I have covered up because I don't like seeing it at night, but no battery level indicator, so you don't know when it's fully charged. For reference, it's about 3.5 hours. So moving along, talked about the more power. That's what's a new motor design, more weight, more battery life, lower battery life at max, more power. Then there's also a change to the primary cleaning head. The V7 used this. This is called the direct drive cleaning head. You can see it's not very big. It was effective. It was the most powerful cleaning head to date. Mine is filthy. The new V10 uses this. This is called the torque drive head. It's larger, more expensive. It has this piece for sealing, and you could pretty much feel a seal as this is down, and has this piece right here. So basically, if you have to work cleaning larger debris up, cereal or Legos or something, it has these two gates here. So you can close the gates for maximum suction. Again, that's the least air getting in here, but the most suction. Or you could open them so that bigger pieces could get into those gates. It's a nice advantage, and let's see if you can see that. It's a nice advantage of the new direct drive head. It is larger, it is heavier, but it's still an upgrade. And you'll only get the direct drive head if you buy the Animal or the Absolute. The motor head uses the old, you only get the torque drive head if you get the two more expensive models. This direct drive head is included with the motor head, which is the entry-level model. So keep that in mind. And I think that about covers it for the differences between the V7 and the V10. They both use the same attachment. So basically you'll see this little carve out here. That's how you know the attachment. And here we'll get an attachment from the V10, put it on the V7. Those are compatible. Whereas if you had a head from your older model, like your DC59, that would not work with a V10. I think that's all I got for the V7 versus the V10. I'll be following up with this video with a review of the V10, some more comparisons, and some feedback about the V10 and my experience with it, having been a Dyson vacuum user for, 10 plus years now. I've gotten a feel for these things, and I wanted to, I know some people are looking for opinion, not just a layout of facts. So that is pretty much it. Oh yeah, this is 5.4 pounds. So keep that in mind. This is 6 pounds. So about a 20% difference there, give or take. Anyway, that's it for the comparison. Thanks for watching.